over here kind of making a mild ruckus for milk, I think. But my wife over here kind of making a mild ruckus for milk, I think. But my wife's getting in. I know, Rocco, that tonight you said that you wanted to discuss an altar that is new to you, at least in terms of coming across it recently, but it's an altar that you've had since the P. Diddy encounters that you had during the summers of like 2004 to 2007, maybe 2008. So, can you first describe how this altar became known to you and what's going
Okay.
on with it?
Well, first of all, right now he's here. He's here. Yeah, he's raging. Uh, and he sends messages to me, and I didn't realize that he was actually sending messages until recently, when I started feeling like there was like this, sexual connection. Um, and like sometimes occasionally I'll say he's hot, he's this, he's that, you know what I mean? Like, as you can see the picture I put up, that's what I had.
It's kind of cut off. I mean, like we don't see the head.
Yeah, it's on the flyer. I mean, it's
Okay.
on the flyer. They can look at it there. I just wanted to keep it so the flyer would stay the way it
Okay.
is.
So then, what do you mean by you would say he is hot? Where are you? What do you mean by that? Like,
I found him, like, because of the trauma, I found him sexually attractive.
and this is a photo of P. Diddy, right, holding a mic.
This is one of them. Yeah, there's several of them. I mean,
Okay.
I sent you a bunch of them.
And then what you're saying is there was. It's really when you were seeing photos of P. Diddy and you were having that internal dialogue. That is really wasn't you, Rocco, but it's really the altar inside of you as a result of the trauma you suffered.
Well, basically, what happened was the other day. This is when I realized that this is serious. Somebody reached out. A woman was here with my friend. And my friend had already warned her that I was going through some stuff mentally wise, not to mess around with me or, do anything stupid or touch anything in my house. So what did she do? She decides to try to steal something out of a pack of cigarettes. I look at her. I said, back in the day, I would have went in the back room. I would have put a Bad Boy shirt on, Bad Boy record shirt on, and I'd have come out with rings on my finger, and I'd have busted your face. And I was like, for a minute, I'm like, what did I just say? And then I snapped and I said, and I'd also walk you like a dog and put a dog collar around you. That's exactly what I would do to you. I treat you like a pimp would treat his bitch, straight up, straight like that. That's the mentality I had for a very long time with women. Honestly, I think, and this is Diddy talking, I think women are, they think that they, their shit don't stink. They think that they're always the innocent ones, and that's not the case. That's not the case at all.
So Rocco, you're saying that this person, you had a guest at your apartment or home, they tried to steal something from you, and that triggered you to make
into going back into like a state where I would be, that's what I'd be told to do. I'd be told to do that to just aimless people sometimes, and I mean, this altar is just, it's horrible because it lives in, like, literally, it's like surfaces and then it'll go down and then it'll leave me alone. But then something else comes up. So then it'll surface. And, lo and behold, number one, I'm going to say it because Diddy's going to say it. All right. I'm going to say this to everybody out there. All right. Diddy's talking now. This is not Rocco. Keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Ain't no better thing than a Diddy party. Anyways.
So then, well, then, if I may ask, do you know what is the name?
And all that comments and all that stuff, and when you know exactly who you are. I don't got to.
What's the name of the altar, Rocco?
I could put the diss track out there.
Rocco, what is the name of the? Do you know the name of this altar?
It's another Diddy. It's like Diddy. It's like
so then it's like the personality of Diddy, but then residing within you, Rocco Fowler, as an altar, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay, so basically you're saying it's almost like
I wanted to be him my whole life growing up. That's what I wanted to be. I looked up to him. You know what I mean? I looked up to him like that. Like, that's why I went to these parties, But
the surface image. You mean he's like a professional rapper and producer, and he's supposedly helping young people to realize their dreams in the music industry, and he was really successful.
Well, I mean, with some people he was successful. The thing about it is he would take the rights as quick as possible.
But you didn't know that at first. The image of
I didn't know it at all, and lately I've been actually writing my own music. Really enough, it's coming in now. It's starting to surface where I'm able to put a diss track together, like I did about you, Roger. So keep in mind, it will be released on my YouTube channel, and there is a link. You can come on over here and say that I caused a man to go and almost do this, this, and this. Let me tell you something, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you right from the gate, all right? You don't know me like I don't know you, all right? Where I come from, where I grew up, they'd knock your fantail ass out in a fucking heartbeat. You'd be knocked off in a heartbeat, straight like that.
Now, Rocko, you said you wanted me to interview. Rocko, you said you wanted me to interview your
yeah, my altar's coming out right now. Trust me, my altar's coming out right now. It's not now, man. So it's like a mixture of me and a mixture of it, but it's the anger inside of me with it. You understand? That's pushing through me, and it's really that's what triggered me. And Nancy, you don't understand that is triggering words, and I think you need to check your chat before you blame me for coming at all your people. Now this is crap right here. This is what I mean. People are, gang banging up on people and stuff. And I got gang banged by that dude in there, in that chat like that. He's a clown, man. And I put a rap together that he's not going to like. Trust me. And it will be released. As soon as I can go get that mix and master, it will be released. Trust and believe that. It will be released and you will feel the heat from it. Trust me.
Rocko, was there anything that your altar wanted to convey tonight while we have...
Wants to convey, keep my fucking name clean out your fucking mouth. That's what it wants to convey. Keep my name clean in your mouth. That's that.
Who's Otherwise, you, Rocko?
Your mouth when you think about me. Before Rocko, you say my name, you ain't been able to step in this lane yet, pal. You've never stepped in my lane. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know the shit that I went through. Call me mentally ill.
Who are you talking to?
Fuck boy.
You're talking to Roger?
Roger fucking Rabbit.
But he's not even in the chat.
A dirtbag. Well, I'm letting it be known. He's a dirtbag. Anybody out there that's a Diddy survivor, do not go near this motherfucker. He is one of the rudest motherfuckers you will ever meet. He's a piece of shit. That's what he is. He's a piece of fucking shit. And I don't care what anybody thinks of what I say. If I cared so much what you say, I'm going to defend myself. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm going to defend myself wholeheartedly. And you know what? I'm not going to take nobody's shit. And that's what people don't like, is I come back at them now. You understand? They don't like that. They don't like it. You can't give somebody the smoke, and not expect that I'm going to give it right back. And you said some real horrible stuff on there, Roger, that I made somebody, and I believe it was Nancy's husband that you were referring to. I didn't make Nancy's husband do nothing or attempt to do nothing or say we should upraise the amendment for this amount of time. I didn't tell him to say that, all right? My story obviously hit him hard, okay? It hit him hard, and you had no right saying what the fuck you said. You're a clown, bro. You're a clown. Talking about, you got Cheetos. Have you ever heard of rolling marijuana? A lot of it, because you have fucking PTSD. You smoke marijuana a lot and lots and lots and lots. And you're
Rocko. I know we're doing a live show tonight for your. There's some other stuff I know that you and your ultra wanted to testify to in regards to P Diddy.
Hold on a second. We gotta just in case because kids get it here, they'll read that.
But there's stuff you wanted to talk about regarding P Diddy tonight, and you said that there's some stuff you want to testify to. So I'm here for you, brother. What do you want to show?
Testifying? What do you mean testifying? Like I don't know.
Well, earlier in your messages to me, Rocko, you said you got a P Diddy altar coming through. You've got all sorts of recalls. You wanted to do a show to share some stuff.
I mean, I was just the altar is coming out.
Okay, and then but what about this?
Yeah, the altar's defending me. Trust me, you don't want to deal with the altar in a physical form.
Yeah, but Rocko, what is it that you wanted? You said you wanted to. You messaged me earlier saying you wanted to do a show tonight, and so we're here.
Well, I told you to interview it when we spoke. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, so then is altar going to come through? Like, how do I ask the altar?
It might come through. Just ask it questions. Just ask it questions.
Okay. So, do you remember the first time you went to a P Diddy mansion party in the East Hamptons?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Can you describe that?
It was, I got picked up, I was walking, it was with two friends. And weirdly enough, the last flyer that I had up, the one survivor said in a previous interview that we did together, Misha, that she remembered being in a white Rolls Royce. Now I remembered an SUV. Now, see, that was pretty interesting. So I had to take a rain check out, and check out, and see my own, try to meditate on it. And, yeah, so I did go for a ride. That's why I was having that vision of, being in a Rolls Royce. And we went to a club. We partied. He mixed drinks. And next thing you know, we black out. Next thing you know, we're back at the, in a tunnel. Is what Misha said. She only remembers waking up in a tunnel and shit being done. So,
And now, earlier you were sending me photos of what looked like P Diddy doing rituals.
What about rituals?
You sent me photos of P Diddy doing.
Those. I mean, that was just a layout, but I took it down because I didn't know how YouTube was going to feel about that. Because of symbols.
Okay.
You got to be really careful because I mean, regular YouTubers are getting knocks on the door from people. I mean, and their whole bit of content has to be taken down. It's sad. It's really
Yeah,
just,
Robert Khalil's Typical Skeptic podcast just got taken down as his third strike on YouTube, which means that he might be out like off YouTube permanently now. Like there's no way to protest it.
wow.
So yeah. Okay, well then,
Well, Rumble, I think, right? Can you? Or no, I don't know if you can use. Can you use another platform?
yeah, he's on Rumble right now, but it's a big blow losing all of YouTube.
Other people considering now they got to move over.
Exactly. So then, okay, so then you've got recall, shared recall with another P Diddy, let's say victim, because you got a survivor, and her name is Misha. She has since been on. She's been public on like other like larger like forums, Rocko.
Yes, I'm not sure what's going on at the moment. As far as that, because we kind of had our own little, survivors where we started arguing with one another, and the energy just wasn't good because it's like we all have that have been involved in that. We all have either they call it a persona or an alter. That's what I mean by a name. Like one of the girls went by instead of Diddy gave the name to Beyonce eventually, but it was Sasha. We played that video clip, and that is the truth. I guess apparently that was like her stage name at the time, and then Diddy gave it to Beyonce. Or
because what you're saying is, Rocko, in the entourage or group that was hanging around with Jay-Z, Beyonce, P Diddy, and all them, that there was another gal who was a singer artist.
Oh yeah, no, the other gal was more or less a dancer and there for entertainment purposes.
And her name was Sasha.
That's what she was going by, and then Diddy took that. But
okay, so her stage name as a dancer, prostitute,
that was whatever it was with him. I don't know too much about that because I never really got too close. But when I heard it, it made sense to me, like the way the setup. Like it could have been in another state where it happened too. It might have been in New York.
Did you ever meet that Sasha person, the dancer?
I remember her from a club at first. Right. Then I remember her in a black. Well, I remember in a black dress at the club with two. One guy was tall and one guy was mid-size. But I met her and I saw her there. I didn't say anything at the time. I just know I saw her.
And I was in the Hamptons.
Yeah, this was CPI's Canoe Place Inn. I don't know if they're still open. I'm not sure.
And you said that CPI's was a pretty well-known hangout, at least when it was.
Oh yeah. It is. It was one heck of a club because they have backdoor status. You know what I mean? Like if you had enough money, you could go right through the back door.
Otherwise, there's like a huge line out front.
God, yeah, and you get your cell phone taken. Weirdly enough, even regular people would have their phones. They'd have to put them in a basket when I would go to the clubs back around that time. Only reason being, I think, was because of all the not good activity that was taking place.
Oh yeah. They didn't want anybody filmed. That's for sure.
So I often wonder how people get these pictures from the clubs. I mean, it must be somebody that's able to have a phone, but
they might have button cameras and stuff like that. Try to civilian spyware.
Well, I mean, this was back 2000? Yeah, 2004 through 2000. So
get button cameras back then.
Up around. I mean, they had their own gadgets and stuff, but
so then Rocko, we're talking about here. That's like your memory, your recall of like your first encounter with P Diddy, and that involved this person Misha and getting picked up in this white Rolls Royce, whether it was an SUV type or sedan type. Can you recall for us your last time you went to or Shanghai to a P Diddy event?
I don't have accurate memory on it right now. I have blocks of missing time. Just like what happened the other night. I mean, I went on that show and I said a lot of things that I regret saying now, especially because of how I was treated by somebody on there. And
what types of things were you saying, Rocko? Like, what did you say?
I don't recall what I said. I was talking about with Drake and Usher, and then Diddy behind a white towel, masturbating with a camera, and I was being rubbed down with baby oil.
Because what you're saying is, Diddy, not only would he be like naked and have a white towel, but was he the one taking pictures because he had his own cameras and stuff?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was drifting off a little bit. Yeah.
And that was like, and like he had like what, like the press cameras, like the full on like Nikon.
Yeah, he would be like this, and he'd just be like literally, you know what I mean? He'd be holding the camera out like this, but he'd be jerking off at the same time. But there'd be like, I remember sometimes I think he had like one woman hold one side of the towel and then the other, so it would cover, so he'd be able to do what he's doing and not be seen doing it on camera.
Because he didn't want there to be any possibility of him getting caught on camera, so that's why he had a towel, people holding up a towel all the time. Like
it was just a thing. It seemed with him, it was an easy way. I mean, he didn't care at point. If you're in a room with him, that's it. You know, if you're behind closed doors with him, you know, anything can happen. I mean,
Well, that instance with Drake and Usher that you have recall of in the baby oil. Where was this at the mansion? Where was it?
that was at East Hampton. That was in the bathroom.
Okay,
Uh,
in the bathroom.
at the East. That's the only Puff Daddy house that I've been to that I know of. Now, anything could have happened in any of those times where he could have picked me up, drugged me enough where I wouldn't have remembered, and then brought me back here or back to New York or brought me somewhere. But I don't have any memory of that to say that. You know, it's not. But people have come and said, you know, that some people have had that happen to them. They thought they were only at one place, but they ended up being at other places through either other people recalling this stuff, not only other people recalling it, but them having, you know, sudden, you know, memories and emotions that go with those memories. So it's difficult. It's very difficult to. I mean, and forget about it when you're being drugged. I mean, there's no telling what's going to happen.
So then, in terms of other people who stepped forward, have you recalled a lot of them? People who've come forward into the spotlight already, and then I think I've already asked this.
Saying something to you. When I mentioned what I mentioned on Nancy's show, I've been attacked spiritually. I have gotten threatening phone calls because I came on your show and I did what I said I was going to do. So now I kind of feel a little some kind of way. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's just me. But it is what it is. It's called the learning experience. That's what it's called. You know, you don't have to go on a show. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Now you said Courtney Burgess, the music producer, he said, acknowledged that you are in photos at these P. Diddy parties.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. And then and there's this other. Good.
What's that on that recording he did? Yep.
And then there's this other person who recalls you, and even though you're not on speaking terms right now, her name is Misha, and she is an African American gal. He said was a few years younger, and P. Diddy had her put on a blonde wig to help lure, you know, younger white men like yourself.
All right, hold on. See, I'm getting threats now. Okay, well, can't handle the truth. You do realize you're threatening me on my platform. You know, I take up to certain, you know, allow people to talk the shit they want to talk. But when you start talking about Little Family and them, yeah, they're a cult, by the way. To anybody who's in this stream, stay away from them. Do not listen to a word they say. They're going to bring up information about me. These people have tried to do so much horrible stuff to me, and this is how I know I'm a target. So at the end of the day, I don't care. And outlaw folks, stop asking me that question. Obviously, I didn't want to answer it. So that don't you get that, or are you just brain dead? Like, if I don't answer a question tonight, what makes you think I'm going to answer it now? I'm not. I don't know who the Highlands are. I don't know who the Highlands are. I don't even know who you are.
He's saying that's the name of a person. Her name is Sarah Highlands.
I don't know who she is.
Okay, well then, thank you for answering. So don't get triggered by the chat, Rocko. Just blocking.
No, it's the threats sometimes from people in the chat. It's like
they're even threats. They're just people who have no power. So when is there anyone else we can recall? We got Courtney Burgess. We got Misha. Is there anyone else?
I don't know about. I don't think Courtney was ever at. He claims he's never been.
Okay. But he's identified you in pictures that do put you there.
Right.
Okay. And then we have discussed some of the celebrities that, if you don't recall them outright, you know, when you look at their photos or video or movies of them, you get a nasty or a sinking feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And were there any names that you wanted to list?
I mean, the Drake and the other one is really
just Drake and Usher. Okay.
P. Diddy being in a lot of the, you know, like the rituals and the, you know, some of the I definitely. You know, we'll get there. That's just something I'm not ready to release just yet. But especially with what's going on, because I don't want to say too much. And I've already said a lot. I mean, when I went on Nancy's show, I mentioned names. I mean, I dropped some serious names.
Rocko, we're on your show right now. It's like,
right, but it caused me a lot of spiritual attacks too. And the V2K very well could have came from that.
You're mentioning you felt like you're getting V2K'd?
Yeah, I just kept repeating the same thing over and over and over. And it was like, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't even, if I smoke a joint, it didn't work. It made more. What?
What was the message that was being repeated over and over?
Oh, what was it? He said, kill yourself.
Okay, suicidal ideation.
Kill yourself. And then like he'd switch it up and say, for some reason, I love you. This
is in P. Diddy's voice?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's like an MK Ultra technique for splitting or dissociation, is the violence and then like a little bit of love, and then ultra violence and then a little bit of love. So that's consistent. Now, when you say it's in P. Diddy's voice, the voice to Skull, do you?
Hold on, I just got a message. Oh, 5150. Oh my gosh. guys, like you're funny, but you're not.
Hey, Rocko, just block the trolls. I don't. This is my Sunday nights. I don't have time.
No, that's why I keep moving to the side.
Yeah, I don't have time for trolls. This is my Sunday
Yeah,
night.
no, that's why he's gone.
Okay.
But I just got a message on my phone. I wonder.
I feel you. I feel you.
That could be
Anyway, so then let me ask you this, Rocko. You have mentioned the rituals. Okay, these you as far as you recall, some of them they were taking place in tunnels underneath P Diddy's East Hamptons mansion. Like you said, he has a whole dungeon area down there.
Yes.
Okay, can you describe this for the rest of us who haven't been there? What does it look like? How do you get to it? Stuff like that. How many people were down there with you?
I remember Misha being down there with me. I remember there were other children down there, but I can't put like a face to them. But there were like, it was like literally a dungeon, like set up that way. Like Diddy would set shit up like that, like weird. He'd be weird. He'd dress like kings, and he'd do all this crazy shit. Like
like a King Henry VIII set up.
Yeah,
like
I mean, and it just what he would do. I mean, it was more like fucking mind control than anything. It was like, you know. And then I've seen him get angry. I've seen him punch, kick, slap. We'll just say a Jane Doe because for the sake.
He's really violent against women.
Very, very, very.
We have a video of that of him beating up Cassie or whoever in the hotel.
Well, I've seen. I'm not saying it's not worse if to see it up front, but I've seen him get pretty physical. Pretty physical. He's no stranger to physical abuse at all.
Do you know how in the East Hamptons mansion how to access the lower dungeon level? Like, is it like basically a door down to the basement, or is it covered up? Is it hidden? Is it
okay? So when I was looking into it, it said something about something underneath a finished basement. So I remember it being like a basement, right? But he was weird. Like he would keep lights off and try not to, show you too much, especially if he was going to use you and abuse you and throw you out. I mean, people can say people are crazy. They need to go to the hospital. They need this. They need that. Day 26. I hashtagged him. Because I don't know if he deals with this type of stuff, but I do know that something demonic took place, and there was something that he had happened where now he has to have a shot every 2 weeks or something. It's sad.
So Rocko, just so you know, for our audience, they might not know who you're talking about. For our audience, Rocko shared a clip with me that there's like a bunch of rap men who do rappers, and they're all being interviewed by DJ Vlad, and they're kind of supporting their one bandmate who himself has had run-ins with P Diddy and basically admitted to having to get a shot from a psychiatrist once a month. Otherwise, he has kind of mental breakdowns.
He'll just walk around. He said, and here's the other thing, and I'm gonna say this right off the bat is, if Diddy would have never got busted, like a lot of people said, like he said, I probably never would have ever came forward. I probably would have never, ever, 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 ever came forward. It would have never happened because there wouldn't have been, I don't think, you know what I mean? It would have been a questionable thing because.
Well, you already get enough, Rocky, you already get enough heat like the rest of us in regards to the Montauk Project, which took place on the east end of Long Island. And, for this to happen.
Not too far from where Diddy lives.
Right. Exactly. Now, how did P Diddy and his people, were they keeping tabs on you in some way during this time period, or like you just you were at the club?
I believe that there were definitely sex kittens. That almost like he knew you would go. Like I know there was probably conversation because I remember having conversations with other people and whatnot about we'll go to the club every Friday night, every Saturday night, and then it turned into in the summers every single night. You know what I mean? Like. And sometimes Diddy would be at those, so it would be easy access. He had.
Did he send a bodyguard? Like so it's like you'd be on the dance floor trying to like talk to some gals and drink beer. and P Diddy would spot you, and he'd send like one of his bodyguards to get you,
That's
or
exactly what he would do. With like the lie of them being a certain age when they're really 13 and you're
so
7.
he sent a gal, not a bodyguard. Then he sent like a girl to.
I've had, well, there are males. I've heard of males being sent in to target as well.
But in your case, do you feel like who did he send to target you?
I mean, there's I believe that there might have been maybe 1 or 2 males. I just haven't knocked the names down yet. I haven't gotten the names. They have, and the faces haven't showed anything to me that, you know, I feel would resonate that. But Misha for sure. It was like when I seen Misha, I had to talk to her. It was like I heard her, you know, and I seen that, you know, a lot of people, you know, were doing the same thing, like all of us getting attacked. And, you know, she was getting attacked, and, you know, they see the problem is, you know, everything isn't just one person. Like it can be several. So when she came out about the shirt situation, and she even got on live and admitted to what she did. But however, see, when you start to look into this more, you say to yourself, well, Diddy could have also had me in the same exact shirt. He could have had several of those shirts to mess with, you know what I mean? The mind.
What kind of shirt are you talking about?
Like a Dose DG or D something. It's like a DG.
Is it the Dolce Gabbana?
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
Are these like white T-shirts?
Yes.
Like
yes.
what he's famous, what he's known for wearing.
Correct.
Also, like Justin Bieber, like the whole Calvin Klein kind of look, that white shirt look.
I don't. I know. I think he was more like whatever. You know, like they had at it with him.
Justin Bieber, but you don't recall him.
I don't think Diddy really wanted him around too many people.
So you don't recall ever meeting or running into Justin Bieber during this
I
time?
can't say I have. Now, is the possibility of it there? Yeah. But it's one of these things where you got to kind of just, you know, you got to meet the person or speak to the person sometimes, like with their voice, or, you know, you might notice something. And as you start to talk, like me and Misha, we started to talk, and the story just completely unfolded, you know, and then that wrench got thrown in the way. And of course, you know, altars started, you know, taking place. With
so altars kind of came out in the midst of you sharing all these traumatic memories and recalls with Misha, and then things got heated between the two of you.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is she never said anything, you know, horrible to me. But I think what it was is, I don't know. I remember her saying something. What was that? I really am trying hard to remember it. What the hell? She said something to me. She said, are you mad at me now? Are you mad at me? And I'm like, what do you mean mad at me? She said, you don't remember when I beat the shit out of you? And I said, well, you're forgiven. You know, I kind of felt like what she was saying, it definitely resonated, so to speak. It like really,
You mean like this was at a Diddy party, and he had her beat the shit out of you?
yeah.
So
We were.
it wasn't like she
like exactly what's said in it. If you listen to anybody listens to the little, it's about a 3-hour, and then there's an 8-hour. But the 8-hour, yeah, just take your time with it. But yeah.
So you got to fill me in here, Rocko. So what you're saying is that this took place at like one of these P Diddy parties. She didn't of her own volition want to beat the crap out of you, but P Diddy had her do it.
More like those things where I have to do this to you. You know what I mean? I don't want to do this to you, because it was like more like he had the upper hand kind of thing. Like he would, you know, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this.
Right. And then did he have her do that to you as punishment for something you did? Was he unhappy?
I don't know. I think me personally, I think he bet on just about anything. Him and his cronies, like he had fun with the kids betting fights. I mean, who would, you know, like people like that are sick like that. They'll do that. And then what they'll do is they'll say, okay, now I want you, meaning me, after I get the shit kicked out of me, you need to beat her ass now, or I'm going to beat your ass. So it would turn, you understand? So after she beat me up, I'd have to get up and I'd have to do the same thing to her. So yeah.
And then was this down in the dungeon area, or was this in just upstairs in the mansion?
I mean, if there wasn't like, if it wasn't like some of the things that were taking place, you know, I know Diddy probably didn't want a lot of people knowing. Like I said, that group of people, that select few that really, some people were just doing what they were doing, hanging out, drinking, and not knowing what's going on. You know what I mean? Somewhere in the bathroom or somewhere in a bedroom or, I mean, it's the Hamptons, I mean, you can get lost. Like,
Did he have did he have a basketball court at that Hamptons mansion?
I don't recall if he did.
Okay,
And
it might be another one, but
it-
there's
I
one of
think that's the Miami. I think that might
okay.
be Miami. I'm not sure, but I did see that video where he got really pissed off.
Well, it's because he's got one mansion, it seems, where there's like a basketball court, and then like the doors open like right off the basketball court, like the walls kind of open up, and then you've got like these bedrooms that almost look like
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that I don't really recall anything happening, but I have heard people speak about it, and I have seen like videos of it, and yeah, that's kind of weird to me. Why do you need beds in area where basketball court? And it looked like the walls were soundproof wherever that was.
right with soundproofing around on the walls.
I think there was a group of people who came out about that, and I honestly, that's one of the most embarrassing things to, all of it's embarrassing. It's humiliating. It's you'll still question your own sexuality. Sometimes people have crushes, literal crushes on their abusers or a specific abuser, like me and Third Eye were talking about, wanting to be something your whole life, and then you finally meet one of your idols, and it's not what you think it's going to be. Is what's going on here.
It's kind of like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, yeah. It's part of you still care. It's weird. It's really weird. Part of you wants him to get out of jail. Part of you doesn't want him to get out of. You know what I mean? And there are times of that where you'll like feel like, especially
Well, if you were called to testify right now, Rocko, what would you do?
well, first of all, I mean, that is, I'm not going to really go into that. I'm not allowed to go into that, but if I'm called, or if it ever happens, we'll just say that I will prepare. I will prepare, number one, because I know it's going to be like air going through my stomach as I'm walking through the court doors if I was to go and to see this man sitting, and have to look him in the eyes and say, you're a fucking monster, and, what you did to me and you did to countless others, whether or not I remember every single one of them, just like they probably don't all remember me. But you are a horrible person, and you've done a lot of damage to a lot of people. You've done a lot of damage, mental damage, where we will never some of us be able to hold a job ever.
And P Diddy, he doesn't seem to care. He really doesn't.
Well, I don't know. I think he's kind of like a little bit of a softy at the moment, in a sense.
How do you think he's going to fare in prison?
I'm gonna be real. Like I don't. I mean, federal is just, it's a little bit different, man. It's. I hate to say it, but I feel like they're already giving him treatment, and I have heard it through other people that have spoken about it. I know Nancy Grace wasn't too happy. She don't believe it. She thinks she's getting like treatment.
So you're saying he's getting special treatment?
Oh yeah,
he's not being subjected to what the rest of the prison or jail population.
The last I heard, he's in the hospital because of a knee. Now somebody was
a knee injury to get into the hospital and out of jail.
Then he doesn't have to go back to the jail until the trial's over. So that right there to me is like, okay, why would you even allow that? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you just keep him in a cell where he can't move? You know what I mean? That much.
Because in a way, the hospital is a lot less secure than the jail. It's a lot easier to get at him. It's a lot easier to take him out.
Not only that, but I heard he made it to the Super Bowl.
What?
This is what I've heard. This is what I've heard.
Come on, the Super Bowl was in New Orleans, wasn't
They
it?
set up a certain spot for him at the Super Bowl. I'm not kidding you. This is what I've heard. This is what I've heard. Let me tell you something. If you were a jail guard and I said to you, I'll give you $20 million right now, I'll have it sent to your account right now as we speak, and you get me to the Super Bowl. You know what a guard would probably say? 20 million. I don't ever have to work in this shithole again. And that is the reality of it. And that's the sad part about when you're such a rich person and you have all that money. And
no, but still, it's not just like bribing a prison guard. I mean, to be able to go to the Super Bowl, you have to have that signed off.
this is what I've heard, like literally. And I'm like, what the hell? Why would they even, like allow that? I mean, and nobody
No, so you heard that.
Going to say anything.
That's not confirmed yet, though, Rocko, right?
I mean, I've heard it from more. I'm going to look deeper into it, but I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. I mean, he's in the hospital now.
Now, Rocky, you said that you've got this altar related to the trauma from P. Diddy and crew there. Do you know?
Really, P. Diddy. I feel
P. Diddy. Okay. Does he want to come say anything or share any information or recall? And I'm asking because the more detail your altar can provide, the better. The more substantiation, the better. The more the public understands what happened, the more likely you are to be called to testimony, which I personally hope you are, for the greater good of yourself and everyone involved.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's very difficult. He's saying something about the pool. Something going on around the pool.
So there's a pool in the back of P. Diddy's East Hamptons mansion where they have lots of pictures of like the white parties and stuff. And it seems like he did that at all his mansions, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So what about the pool? Did terrible stuff take place in that pool?
Yeah. A lot of terrible stuff.
And is this like during the after party portion, not like in the middle?
To literally, like I'm seeing right now is him dunking some girl's head under the water, like, and just holding it.
So he might have drowned people, like especially women in that pool,
or just done it for like his own pleasure. Because he got pleasure out of doing painful acts. Is what I'm seeing right now.
Okay. Is that the main thing your ultra wanted to show you from the pool?
And then there's like some other weird stuff. I'm like in the backyard, and it's the pool, and then there's an upward hill. But there's a whole bunch of people, so it's hard to. What's he saying now? He's talking about. For some reason, I got that Warriors Come Out and Play song just literally beaming in my head right now. And I hear the two like glass bottles tapping together.
Does this feel like interference?
It's just weird because I feel like that song was in relation to those timings as well.
Okay. So this is part of the recall.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's what I'm trying to do is get him to come a little bit more forward.
And when you say that Warriors Come Out to Play song, that the Warriors movie, that's like a 1970s movie. But then when you say there's a Warriors Come Out to Play song,
it's a rap group that did it.
Okay, so they remixed it.
Yeah.
And then was that something that they played at the P. Diddy parties?
No, for some reason it just popped in my head. I don't know. That happens sometimes. I mean, I don't know what the clicking of the bottles were or all that stuff, but I it's weird because I wasn't.
Was it clicking the bottle something he did to get everyone's attention to like say?
Oh my God, he'd be smacking bottles together. He'd be screaming. He'd be dancing around, no shirt on. Man, come on now.
What kind of bottles was he knocking together?
Dancing around, doing his groove on that GHB, man. That's it. He's talking now. He's saying, "Oh boy, that GHB." And popping them bottles, and he'll be like, I want to party, I want to party with you. Come on, let's party. Or, I really want to party.
Were they champagne bottles? Were they
Take a drink. No, take a drink now. and he just give you this ugly fucking. I just got the clear look of it. Like his eyes were just looking. You could tell when he looked at you, you weren't looking at something that was happy. You were looking at it, straight up fucking evil, like evil, demonic. Like, you know, I hold the power over you. You know, yeah. And then I remember one time seeing a video. It was weird. The video with French Montana was sitting at the table. His head was down on the table like this. And Diddy comes in with a birthday cake and he says, "Happy birthday to you." I'm like, what the fuck? You know, dude's in his boxers sitting at the table. Here comes Diddy. I think he was in his boxers, you know, and no shirt on. You know what I mean? And walking up to French Montana, and he's like, "We're gonna party. We're gonna start drinking early in the morning." And yeah,
they're lovers, aren't they? I'm pretty sure I've seen them.
I believe they are. I believe they are because there's too many videos out of him and French hanging out a lot. So
yeah, like towels and stuff.
But I think him and Usher had a big thing going on there for a while.
Do you recall French Montana or have any?
I don't have. Oh yeah, Trey Songz. I don't remember or recall, but when I heard that and I saw the photo or whatever, someone was showing me a photo of it, and I looked and I was like, yeah, no, I'm done with Trey Songz now too. But the
Trey Songz
is like it's Diddy's saying there were chosen and you were my pet. That's what the altar is talking about. I was the pet. Misha was the pet. So he had a female pet and a male pet. So we would do things for him. We were like special to him.
So do you feel that now, it being 21 years or so later since these summers in the East Hamptons, that if you were to see him and he was to see you, he would remember who you are?
Absolutely not. I don't think he would remember anybody, honestly.
No, why not? Because he was so high.
Did so much fucking GHB and shit that his head is probably fucked by now, like literally. And he's not on it anymore. So his mind might say, "Yeah, I remember you," you know, because that's how he would get that way. He would get freaky, like he'd just come up to you and just start hugging you and picking you up. And yeah, that part of him was horrible. But then there was this streak of him that is part of my altar where I become very verbally abusive. And it also causes me to like, it's kind of like just typing, but I just type a message, but I don't even realize what I'm writing at the time. It's just the altar's telling me, yes, right. You know, write this down, write that down, say this, say that, you know, swing back, or it's really annoying, to be honest. I, like another survivor was saying, you know, I believe when the trial is over, regardless of what the circumstances is, which, I mean, there's no running and hiding for him anymore. It's over. Maybe your mother, but you know, she's another one. I mean, do you
remember meeting his mother?
Honestly, I don't remember meeting her, but from what the new documentary on Peacock, I didn't even watch it yet, and I don't think I'm gonna, because his childhood friends came out and said she was literally running these freak-off parties out of her homes growing up and taught him and sold him.
Yep.
And, you know what I mean? And so he copied exactly what she was doing. So his mom took $400 million and said, "I'm going to skip out," because right now Diddy is at a desperate point where he will tell on anybody that will get him at least 20 years off his sentence,
including his own mama.
Oh, absolutely.
Who sold him out? So she sold him out.
I think she sold him out in a sense too. I do, because how did she get $400 million, but his own kids are not getting anything? And then you left the kids, you know, they're what they are, you know.
No, Rock, I got to ask you just about the GHB. In my post-college days living in Los Angeles, I hung around with some people who, you know, they were doing that. And I was always afraid to, because I thought it was like, if you do GHB and you combine it with alcohol, it's very easy to overdose.
Yeah, amazing. I mean,
die. But I heard you can also die from it. Is that not true?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like once you get that feeling of like euphoria, like complete, like you're out of it, like you're just fucking enjoying everything around you. You might think you're enjoying it, and that's another thing is these drugs make it. At the time, it feels enjoyable, but then when later on you're dealing with life problems, and this stuff slips in, and you don't want to tell nobody. I didn't even want to tell my mom about what happened. I didn't because I know how my mom gets. She gets very, upset about things like that. And I wouldn't want her to go and try to attack an attorney or say something that might just put me in a, bad situation. This is
Rocko, are you aware of anyone overdosing from the GHB and alcohol?
Oh,
like, where they died? Not just passed out, but like died.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't remember seeing it happen, but it could have happened, and they could have just picked the body up, and it's really close to the ocean. And just go.
Is there a GHB hangover at all, or what is that like?
I used to get like a headache, and I get really like hot at times, or I want more. I would want more. It was like I definitely would want more because it just kept me going. Like I couldn't. And then I was getting bad with the alcohol. I would drink nonstop. Like my mom would tell me, "Why are you not having coffee? You're having liquor at 6 o'clock in the morning. What's up with you?" And I was verbally abusive to her too. Like,
were you trying to drown out the trauma at that point?
I think that's what that was. I really, now looking back at it, I think that's what that was, because I still battled at that time with, I still had, Sean John in my closet. I still had interesting items. So like, and this was after the parties, after it all happened, and I still had this stuff. And I started like, it was like, I think at the album covers or something, one of the, I can't remember the name of the album now. And it was my favorite.
So then looking back now, 21 years or so later, is there something that you would say to your younger self in terms of don't get in the Rolls Royce or stay away from, that nightclub because, P. Diddy's there? Like, what message would you give to yourself?
Well, I honestly could have, should have, would have, in a sense of, it happened. I probably, I don't know, like I've always been that free, like just go with you if there's more, fun, or there's women, or, so I don't know what I honestly, I'd probably still go.
And that's what I have to ask you, Rocko. Like, at a certain point, wasn't there a part of you that said, man, I really want to go to this mansion party, but it's a P. Diddy mansion party, at which point I'm probably going to be abused or whatnot? Or like, what, you just weren't in a logical frame of mind? You were just like, let's go party, and you were just in denial? Like, what's going through, what do you think was you were thinking at that time?
At what, the beginning states, or
even in general, even like towards the end of it? Like, let's say you said if it began in 2004 and
went like 20. Yeah, I mean, there was a case of 2014 of a 17-year-old behind a club. I mean, Diddy seemed to like to go to these clubs, and that's where he would target these young men. And I'm not racist, I'm not saying it. The thing is a lot of them are white men. I don't understand.
He seems to like white men and black men.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I think they like to do things all in one, like together type thing. You know what I mean? Like gangbang.
Because that seems like that's might be their whole fraternal order boule thing. That might be part of that.
And adding the white men in there, it's yeah.
So like ritual. So did that feel ritualistic at all?
Well, I mean, not really. It was more like get it over with, get it done, and I'd be so fucking high, like, that I just didn't even give a shit. You know what I mean? At point in time, when you're being abused like that, it's you feel helpless, and you just don't, care. You don't care. You become prone to it. So it's like, like counting. It's like going 1, 2, 3, and next thing you know, it's over. But you're still doing the act because of the addiction behind it, or maybe because of the fancy jean jacket clothing and the chains and the nice shoes and the nice vehicles, and you really, 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 really want that. But then he says, no, you got to give me your butthole if you want that. But then he turns around and he just basically uses you for those summers, some people like myself, and then just disperse. That's it. I don't need it no more. I had enough of you. It's like, I need to move on to the next.
Right. So like he's concerned about keeping any of his promises. He's just going to move on to the next.
He didn't keep any promises with a lot of people. I believe Misha had a bunch of songs written, and something happened with that. I don't know the full story, like where I could tell you right off that, but that in itself, I hear this a lot. Diddy's given other people's lyrics to other artists. and that's wrong. That's totally wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. And only supply on to another. One supply onto another. Yep. Yep. Yeah. That's right. Third eye. It is. It's very, yeah. But honestly, why do I still feel like I want to, feel that feeling somewhat again? Because I felt free, honestly. It's like me being what I call a recovering alcoholic because I'm a recovering alcoholic. And, knowing I can't drink, but there are days that I do want to drink. And yeah, it is. So I could just re-suppress whatever it is. But what's going to end up happening is my mind's just going to explode. That's what's going to happen. Not literally, but it could possibly cause a bunch of memories just to flow like down and just bust through. And you're looking in your sometimes you're even hearing the things. You're hearing it while you're, like basically you're reliving everything. You're reliving everything to where and then sometimes it'll be a dead stop. And then you get depressed, you start crying, you don't want nothing to do with anybody, you get argumentative, and you just shut completely down. And some people, they will self-medicate. And that's why I think a lot of them are dead.
No, but it seems like, Rocky, you've come to a place now where you're better able to handle this stuff, and you've discussed it a bit. You've shared your testimony publicly. Does that mean that to some extent you've been able to process it so that you're not so driven to hit a bottle anymore?
Well, this is very therapeutic, and in the sense of if I was to sit there and go tell this to, and I get this from some people, find a therapist, and I'm like, well, some of the things I say, a therapist is going to look at you like crazy, but meanwhile, you're not crazy because there's several other people with the same situation. It's like you would think a therapist would know this stuff, that they would follow this type of stuff, especially if they work SA or SRA, and they knew about that stuff. You would think they'd check into it too deep. I had 3 therapists since I woken up to this turn me down because they said the cases with all the stuff I told them. They said that they're not even equipped to begin the process. They said, and these are SA counselors, therapists, and SRA. They're just like, they're like, it's not that we don't believe you. It's not that we don't believe you. But what if you snap on one of our, in person, you snap on one of us, or, because you're forgetting, I'm here in Missouri. This happened in New York. So, a lot of times the doctors and stuff here are a lot, more older and mature, and they know what they're doing. And I got turned down by like 3 different places. I got turned down. It's so sad. And then trying to find an attorney, at first, floating around on that one, I contacted a few, but it was more like drill sergeant with them. And at that time, I wasn't really clearly ready to do it. Like I didn't say much, you know what I mean? I didn't say much at all. I was just like, I kind of just answered a couple of their questions. It wasn't nothing big, no big names or anything I put out, to them. But yeah, the problem is when you got people out there that got photographs or claim they got photographs, that is wearing on the brain to die, because what if one of those photos are like this one here, just, me next to him like that, because
if those exist, Rocko, if those exist, I would believe you'd have a very strong case. I'd love to see you pursue a civil case against P. Diddy. In the meantime, I hope he goes behind bars for a very, very long time.
That's it. Well, anybody wishes it, absolutely. But then again, you do have people out there that still support him
because they're clueless and they don't know any better. Now Rocko, we're getting to an hour and 15 minutes. I was wondering, is there anything else that you wanted to share, or you want to close out the show?
We'll close out. You all have a good night.
I want to say good night to I know Jordan, or Third Eye. It's been awesome and it's very supportive of us. So I really thank Jordan for being here. Can't wait to see her in person at our conference in July. I just want to thank the other audience members, and thank you, Rocko, for sharing your testimony. I hope this helps people out there, other people.
Yep. All right. Have a good night, guys. Much love.
Night, brother. Night, Rocko. Night.